Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'd like to share with you my favorite states of America I've been to. There are 50 states and I've technically been to over 25 states. It's a bit complicated to know the exact number because I had, tons of layovers in Colorado, in Denver, but I never made it out of the airport, so I don't think that counts. And I flew to Spokane and only drove through it. I slept once in New Mexico, but I never saw anything of the states. It's kind of complicated. Here's a map of the states I've been to. I use different colors to make the difference between the one I've really been to and the one I just went through, I guess. As it's been a couple of years since my first trip to the States, 2022, I've had a couple of comments from you guys asking me to do my top 5 or something of the states I liked. So here it is. Top 5 is Arizona, and I'm really happy to be in a place mentally in which I can finally talk about Arizona because, I may have very quickly mentioned that one of the worst experience I had was in Arizona, unfortunately, and for years I just didn't want to talk about Arizona at all. But now it's okay. I feel a lot better about all that, and I can finally talk about the fact that Arizona was amazing. It's outstanding, the sights. I felt like I was in a Western movie, those cowboys, kind of like the movies my dad used to watch, Western, with the Wild West movies. Everywhere we went, and it's a really perfect state to hike, and I'm a big hiking person, and the sights are just amazing. Arizona, it has a very specific climate, so it has also, very unique flowers and trees, the cacti, saguaro cacti, I think you say, and the animals. So it's very unique, and I love that. Problem is, once again, it is way too hot. I was there in March, and I don't know if you remember the videos, but we were hiking, very early in the morning, and it was really, really cold. And then after a couple of hours, it was in the 30s. So for you guys, it's in the 80s or 90s. And this change of temperatures, it affects your body, and I had a hard time adapting to that for sure. And I remember one morning we were hiking, and it was really, really hot, like really hot, 35, 38 maybe. And then we went to the Grand Canyon, and it was minus 12 in a day, and I was shocked, but that's how, different it can be. Yeah, it's this heat, once again, that my body cannot, which is fun because I'm always cold, although it gets better nowadays that I'm working out more and more, growing muscles. But yeah, I can't. My body cannot tolerate it. Arizona would definitely be my go-to if I really wanted to see a big change, of sights, and for hiking too, because it can be really challenging, the hikes, but it's so rewarding because of the amazing sights. For the 3rd and 4th position, I really had a hard time choosing Louisiana. Louisiana is a one-of-a-kind state. It was a big surprise. What really touched me the most is the kindness of people. This state, Louisiana, is a state where I met and experienced the most amazing kindness from people. It's another level. It's something else over there. Insane. The food is such one of a kind, and it's a little country, it's a little world in itself. Everything is just so different. The only problem with Louisiana for me is the heat. I cannot. I was there in November, and I was not dying, but it was way too much for me. And I'm an outdoor girl. I think by now you all know that. So if I cannot physically be outside, it's a big problem for me. And it's a kind of a shame because Louisiana has so much wildlife. You saw how much fun I had with that in the videos. I was like a little kid. I had so much fun, honestly. It was great. But yeah, it's too hot, which is why I ended up in the 4th position. On the 3rd position, I chose Minnesota. I've been there twice. Same. I had no idea Minnesota was like that. It was a big surprise. I loved everything. Minnesota will be my top one if it had mountains, honestly. We went to the biggest, the tallest like place in Minnesota with Danny, and it was gorgeous. It was beautiful, but it's not a mountain. If they had mountains, I think Minnesota will be my top favorite state for sure. I mean, I think, Danny did an amazing job at showing me the different parts of the state, and I think I did a good job at filming it and making the videos because I really like them, and you can see in the videos it's such a great place. So mainly for the sights, obviously, but the food was also delicious, and there's just so much to see. And it's a fascinating state because of the lake, there's this big lake that looks like an ocean to me. There's just so much wildlife too that ranks high for me. My second favorite state was a big surprise to me. It's South Carolina. You've seen the last videos on my channel. I fell in love with the state. I mean, I don't know what happened. The way people live, the vibe, the beach, even though I'm absolutely not a beach person, everything in South Carolina, North Myrtle Beach, not Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, I just so loved it. Especially, usually when I stay there, I'm actually like working, like, how to say this, like I'm kind of working there. So I really got this experience of how it would feel like to, live there. Same, I think financially speaking, that would be very expensive, but I loved it. This life, that is much more in the present moment and ralenti, slowed down, is what really kind of touched me. And I was like, wow, yeah, that feels good to just, slow down a bit and just enjoy everything. And, South Carolina is on the coast, so it's sunny almost all the time. The weather is nice. Temperature is nice. I'm sure they get storms and all that over there, but I loved it. The food too, definitely. Fresh seafood. It's something I definitely I've been enjoying since I've been coming to the States. I was never a seafood person. I grew up in the lands, and so it's a lot of like meat, meat that we hunt. So seafood was like something maybe for Christmas or whatever, and now it's like, every time I go to South Carolina, it's like a lot of seafood related food, and it's delicious. The first one is Montana. I went to Montana during summer 2023 during a tour, Glacier National Park tour. We flew to Spokane and went through Idaho, Montana, Alberta, and British Columbia. This trip was kindly offered, guys, by one of my Patreon, Dennis, and I had an amazing time, and I still cannot believe the sights, the landscape I saw. It was just a week. It was a week. It was a whole week. And it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. And so far, I haven't seen any more beautiful sights somewhere else in the States. I've been mentioning Montana for a couple of times now, and how that would be definitely my go-to state if I were to move in the USA. I'm not sure about if technically that would be possible. Yeah, Montana is the definition of my kind of environment. Big mountains, like woods, à non plus finir, and it's just, I saw grizzly over there, that was... Oh man, that was a great trip. I'll link it somewhere for you to see, but it was really amazing. And so Montana for now is really at the top of my list. So when I thought about making this video, I was gonna go for a top 7 states. And then I was like, it's kind of a weird, it's my favorite number, but it's kind of a weird number. So I'm gonna do a top 5. So that's my top 5. And as I said, I actually wrote down like my top 7. So I believe you say sixth favorite state is Tennessee. Tennessee was a huge surprise for me too. I went there with my friend Guillaume, who you've seen on my videos already. Tennessee for me was a big fave because it's the state where I saw the most Mustangs on a daily basis. Like I couldn't count up to 5 that I will see 2 or 3 Mustangs, and my love for this car. So it was the dreamland for me. It was heaven. But mostly I really did not know Tennessee was the way it is. All the woods, the Rocky Mountains, and this beautiful, vibrant, city that is Nashville. A lot of hiking options, lots of woods too. It would definitely be a state. That is mommy coming back. C'est beau? Il y en a 2 maintenant. Je vais les filmer après. I believe we stayed for 10 days in Tennessee. It was a great trip. Everything was just so well planned. The food was amazing too. It's really funny how different the food can be from one state to another, and how, they have each their staple, I think you say, saying Southern hospitality over there. Oh my goodness. Yeah, very, very, very specific to this place too. It was it's really great. I think this state, and I think I've mentioned it before, it would be a really good place for example, my parents to move to. I mean, they're probably never going to move to States. Barely language first, and we have all our life here. But thing is, it's the environment, the sites, everything will really be perfect for them over there. Obviously, that counts in my, in the way I rank the states. But yeah, even when they saw the videos, they were like, oh wow, like we really love it. And I know when I'm gonna be bringing them at some point, and visit the States with them, it's gonna happen. I think the first state we're gonna stop at, it would be Tennessee, especially for the Elvis thing, because my dad is a huge fan. And lastly, my 7th favorite state is New Hampshire, and it could have been my first one if it wasn't for Montana having way much taller, bigger mountains. But New Hampshire looks honestly exactly like where I am living right now, in France. And like sometimes I hike where I live, and I'm like, I could be in New Hampshire. And a couple of months ago I was in New Hampshire and I was like hiking, and it's like I could be where I live right now in France. And I like New Hampshire for that. Same, mountains, a lot of woods. I like that there's not that many people around. It's very peaceful, very, very natural. And I just, it's a cool state for sure. I saw Fisher. How about that? That was really cool. It's also close to Canada, which, I like that. And it's close to kind of everything, you're not that far from the ocean, you're not that far from Canada. I like that. So that is my top 7 favorite states for now. I will be visiting new states in the USA very soon, so that ranking might change. Tell me if you were surprised by one of those, one of those ranking, one of those faves, and tell me, I would love to know which one is your favorite state, or if you have like a top 3 or top 5, I would love to read that in the comments, and why. That would be interesting. I am only, visiting most of those states. I mean, that's true, I'm only visiting. So, it's hard to actually know what it would be like to live in those, even though, like I said, in South Carolina, I'm usually kind of like, I'm not a tourist over there. I mean, when I am there, it's more like, living there, which was is a nice experience. It's complicated to really rank them when you only spend a couple of days there. But, I usually stay at least a week, so it's enough to see, to experience the people, the food, and all that. So, that's it. I hope you like this video, and I'll put in the description box every trip that I've made to those states I mentioned, if you want to check them out. That's it. I have a website if you want to check it out, some merch, and a Patreon page if you want to support the channel. And I'll see you, I don't know when. Stuff are gonna happen for me very soon, so I'm not sure when you're gonna see a video. Hopefully very soon. Until then, take care of yourself. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support, and I will see you soon, I hope. Bye.